The stock market has always been a battlefield: fear versus greed, panic versus patience, and right now one man is standing in the middle of it all, saying something that almost no one else dares to say. Tom Lee, the co-founder of Fundstrat and one of Wall Street's most resilient optimists, believes that right now could be one of the best buying opportunities in years. When most investors are fearful, he says it's time to look deeper, because the numbers might tell a very different story. But here's the question: is Tom Lee right again, or is this the calm before the storm? Let's break it down. For most of 2024, headlines have been screaming about inflation, interest rates, and fears of a recession. Investors watched as the Federal Reserve raised rates to their highest levels in over 2 decades. Companies started cutting costs, layoffs made the news, and suddenly everyone started whispering the same word again: crash. But behind the panic, something interesting happened. The economy didn't collapse. Consumer spending held up. Corporate earnings beat expectations. And the tech sector? It exploded. AI, semiconductors, green energy all started a new wave of growth. That's when Tom Lee stepped in with a bold call. He said this pullback is not a warning sign, it's an opportunity. According to him, the market is gearing up for what he calls a soft landing rally, a period when inflation cools, earnings rise, and investors suddenly realize they've been sitting on the sidelines while the bull market quietly resumed. Now, if you've followed Tom Lee, you know he's been here before. In 2020, during the pandemic crash, when most analysts predicted a depression, Lee said the market would rebound sharply. People called him crazy. And then just months later, the S&P 500 hit new record highs. He did it again in 2022, when he predicted that the worst of inflation was already behind us, even as markets were tumbling. And once again, he wasn't far off. So when Tom Lee says buy stocks now before it's too late, he's not just guessing, he's betting on history. But what exactly makes him so confident this time? Let's dig into the data he's watching. First, liquidity. Even with high interest rates, there's still trillions of dollars sitting in money market funds, cash waiting for a reason to move. And historically, when that cash starts flowing back into equities, markets rally hard. Second, earnings momentum. Corporate profits, especially in the tech and energy sectors, are rebounding faster than analysts expected. Companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, and ExxonMobil are driving the earnings growth that fuels the S&P 500. Third, sentiment. Investor pessimism is near extreme levels. Surveys show that more than half of retail investors believe a crash is coming, and if history teaches us anything, when everyone expects the market to fall, it usually rises. That's the psychology of investing. The market climbs a wall of worry. But let's be fair, it's not all sunshine and bull runs. Critics argue that Tom Lee's optimism ignores the risks: geopolitical tensions, a possible oil shock, and the uncertainty of the next Federal Reserve move. And they have a point, because no rally is ever guaranteed. But Lee's counter-argument is simple: the Fed is closer to cutting rates than raising them. And when rate cuts begin, history shows markets tend to surge, not stall. He believes 2025 could mirror 1985, a period when inflation cooled, the Fed pivoted, and the stock market began one of its greatest multi-year rallies. So what does all this mean for the average investor watching from the sidelines? It means the next few months could be critical. We're entering what analysts call an inflection zone. If inflation keeps trending down and earnings continue to surprise to the upside, this could mark the beginning of a new bull cycle, not the end of one. The key, Tom Lee says, is to think long-term. While traders chase headlines, long-term investors build wealth by staying invested when others are afraid. Because the truth is, the best days in the market often come right after the worst. We're standing at a crossroads. One path is driven by fear, waiting for the next crash that may never come. The other is driven by conviction, believing that innovation, productivity, and human progress always find a way forward. Tom Lee is betting on the second path. And if history repeats, he might just be right again. So the next time you see a red day on the market, remember this: every major bull market in history started when most people were too scared to buy. Maybe this time it's happening again.
Thank you for watching Vector Log, where we try to bring you the best financial advice you'll ever need. Don't forget to hit the like button, the bell icon, and the subscribe button. And stay tuned for our next videos.